Here and back for another Thursday here on the Dead Red Podcast. It is Sox Arizona and myself, Big Blue in the Bronx. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank you for joining us once again and taking your time on this Thursday. We know there's obviously football on and all that stuff. A lot of stuff to get to, of course. Questions do help, as we always say. If you haven't already, like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on those post notifications so you know when a live stream pops for video drops for both channels. And also go over to Big Beat Reactions and subscribe. That is Sox's second channel. That is his music reaction channel. If you haven't already, we've switched venues, though. Buy those tickets for NYY News TV Day. We are doing it in the Bronx. Not Yankee Stadium, but we are doing it in the Bronx. Probably much cheaper than Yankee Stadium, if anything. Shouts to Tony. He says, be sure to like and subscribe. Shouts to Daniel Berry, officially Rams 2022 champs. Stop everyone. Tony says, welcome any viewers. Thanks for watching. Please feel free to post your questions in the chat. That's Evan. What's up, guys? MH says, Red Sox ain't making no offer at the judge. It's the Mets. Well, I hopefully not, because I don't want to hear Judge the Mets for the next, few weeks, and then he becomes a Met, and then the guys on the other side, guys in Queens are gonna have to be up my ass. MH, you'll be ecstatic if that happens, of course. Red Sox, and then tonight's Dead Red Podcast is sponsored by GetRidOfHicks.com. Yeah, you know what? That actually should be a site if it continues to play more. But yeah, that was an interesting experience. Obviously, I have the Cooperstown shirt on. It's not necessarily mine. But that is, of course, referencing something I'll talk about, which is the Derek Jeter Day that I went to last Friday. However, I want to let Sox talk a little bit. We just came off of a series where the Yankees just swept the Boston Red Sox. The Giants won, so a little bit of mixed feelings. Sox, how are you doing, my man?
I'm doing good, man. What's up? Welcome everybody in the chat. Glad we could be here on a nice Thursday. Yeah, mixed emotions is a good way to put it. As far as sports teams over on my side of things, the Giants with a huge win. I know you guys have been covering that over there, and I'm looking to go 2-0 against Carolina. That's awesome. First time in 6 years, I think, that the Giants are over 500. So Red Sox get swept by the Yankees. We expected that. It was a good game, a good couple of games. We had some ups and downs, positives, negatives to talk about, but we weren't really surprised with the outcome there. So we'll see where it goes from here. Red Sox obviously out of it this year. We already talked about it last week. It's getting even more gloomy and doomy now, but other than that, doing well.
Yeah, I want to pull up one thing. Okay, we're gonna pull it up right here because I think it's at least a good time to pull it up. And that was gonna be like one of my first questions. You obviously mentioned some ups and downs. I'm gonna share my screen here. Hopefully, StreamYard will let me do it, guys. Once again, questions in the chat help out a lot. Comments, all that stuff. Thank you guys for tuning in. So one thing I want to go over is this. I don't know if you've seen this, Sox. I don't know if you were watching, what was it, yesterday? The Gleyber Torres inside the park home run. That has to be one of the biggest. And you know what? I think a lot of this Red Sox stuff with the errors, they're kind of overblown, even though statistically, they're 8th in the AL in errors and 7th in fielding percentage, which isn't far off the Yankees, but it's just the clutch errors that make it worse for y'all Red Sox fans. So we're going to replay it here. Easy base hit. Torres has been doing well over the last few days. Throw to the plate. It's not in time. Greasy Reese throws it into right field. Just heads up base running, and then they try to throw it in. Not in time. What's your assessment on that play?
This is what happens when you trade away, your guy, Christian Vasquez. It doesn't make any sense. Why are we throwing to first base right there? Maybe to get him going back to first? Eat the ball right there. And you make a good point. All these errors get, I don't know, what did you say? Overlooked? Overblown. It's a big deal. You don't see teams throwing the ball around like this. We've talked about it multiple times. It's like little league home runs. You don't see that in the big leagues multiple times in a year. And we've seen Jarren Duran, the Cordero stuff, Vasquez. It is, Greasy Reese. That is hilarious. I didn't even hear that yet. But it's gotta get cleaned up. Next year, hopefully, we can turn things around. It's messy right now.
Yeah, there's another play I want to get to. I'm gonna see if I find some. Yeah, I think I want to see if I have some video of it. I think I do. So this is another error that the Red Sox made last night. Shouts to MH. He says he's coming home. Yes. This one, I mean, it's not the best camera angle because I'm just trying to find shit off the bat, but that's Abraham Almonte in center field. Apologize for that stupid phone ringing. We just try to, zone out of it. But yeah, I mean, that's wow. I forget why he even was in the game yesterday. To be fair.
Well, I don't even know either. And, I'm like, he made two back to back. I don't know if you saw that. If you were watching the game, he had 3 balls hit to him right in a row. And that third one, he got a sarcastic, sarcastic cheer from the crowd when he finally caught the final out of the inning. But it's tough. That ball straight at him. I think it was off the bat of Stanton going back to the garage. That's a hard hit ball to the deepest part of the park. And as a former baseball player in high school, those balls right at you are the toughest. You don't know whether you're going forward or backward, and it ate him up, So that's tough.
What position did you play in high school?
I played left field and first base. And I pride myself on being a really good first baseman.
Damn, all right. All right, so I played – all right, so – speaking technically, when we're talking about high school, when I got here in Brooklyn, for the second time in my life, I played third. I actually played a lot of outfield, but I played third. I remember because one of the guys failed off the team because he didn't have good grades, and that's when I took the third base spot. And even that summer, I played a little third base. I was a pitcher too. I remember, I just feel like I made an Andujar-esque play because we were in this summer league and it was shit, all right? We were like 4-13. It was a really bad team. And me and my brother were the oldest on the team. And we really weren't supposed to be on that team. This was 4 years ago almost. And I remember, and I was kind of pissed in an egotistical standpoint because I'm like, nobody fucking said anything to me about this play. So this kid hits a chopper down the line. I go like this to grab it, make the throw to first. It's a double play. But because the team sucked, nobody said anything. Oh, hey, Alex, great throw in this stuff. So I'm like, I fucking hate this team. And it was so expensive, too.
Oh, yeah.
I hate dreading on it because my parents ended up paying a lot of money for that shit. Yeah. You know how much it was? And I'm going to say this out loud. Everybody could clown me in the comments and everything. You know how much it was per person to play that summer?
I mean, you know what? I umpired some travel ball, and they paid thousands of dollars a month for their kids to be as a part of this stuff.
$395.
Yeah. Oh, $395. Okay.
That's how much it was, and pretty worthless. Pretty worthless because we went 4-13, and it was so bad too because we used to play these fucking double headers in 96-degree weather.
Oh my god!
Fucking long ass uniform. I don't know, to be honest with you, Sox. I don't know who had the smart idea of putting us in black unis.
Yeah, you know what that reminds me of, and we were lucky. Our colors were orange and black, so we had bright orange uniforms. Somebody came up with the genius idea at my high school of making jerseys with baseballs on them, right? They were flaming baseballs right under the name Williams. And we go out for our first game. We're looking fresh, looking clean. Our new baseball uniforms. The umpire makes us Sharpie black into the baseball because it looks like a real baseball. What are your thoughts on that?
That does remind me of something. That's stupid. That is stupid. I'm not going to lie to you. But in high school, I don't know if y'all had this rule either because you're talking about the same line of thinking. I want to say that no, it wasn't even high school. It may have been high school too. Also a little league. You could not wear white sleeves.
Yes, I remember that. No white sleeves, and for us, it was if you had a sleeve, everybody's had to match. So somebody shows
Really?
up. Somebody shows up with a brand new nice sleeve. Their parents got them, for their birthday, whatever. Nope, everybody's has to match.
Wow. I mean, I used to have black Under Armour sleeves, and they were fucking fire. I want to get to some comments before I remind myself and kind of tell a story as well. Abraham Almonte, oh my God, the Red Sox players have just turned into no names. Almonte actually used to be a Yankee.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, his brother was like a top prospect, Zoilo Almonte.
Okay.
He plays in one of the Spanish leagues now. I played catcher and second base, says Tony. Catcher in high school,
Tony?
and second base at Eli.
I want to know Tony's pop time.
Pop time, yes, pop time. That's very important. I played right field in freshman year, and then I guess I was referencing one of my plays. He goes just like the Giants last season. Judge had the balls to go downfield, and it's gone. I guess he's referring to one of the Aaron Judge plays. I didn't have that rule. What's the deal with the Yankees? Are they back? I believe they are coming back. I mean, I've been on and off, but they've had 3 straight series wins, so I have to give them credit. 4.2 is the pop time. I'm not necessarily good with pop time and measurements. I'm going to be honest with you, Sox.
I don't think that's a great pop time. That's 4.2 seconds to get up and pop to second base. I think he's there by the time you're getting the ball out.
Well, it also depends on the distance as well, but they also had this rule in Little League. You could not slide head first.
Yes, I remember that too. And I remember we moved up to what it was called junior level, and you could finally slide head first. You could finally wear metal cleats. We thought we were in the big leagues.
So what, the first couple of years of Little League, you had to just wear sneakers?
You had to wear rubber cleats.
I mean, I never specifically I wore rubber cleats. I just never changed them, of course. So, to be fair though, one thing I did enjoy during my high school days was playing on turf. I always loved playing on turf. Football, obviously, when I go out for fun and shit like that, I'll do it and it's still fun. But obviously, when you're talking about players and professional football players in cleats, that's not a good thing,
So do NFL players wear metals or do they wear all rubbers? I would imagine.
I'm going to make an educated guess. Because I've heard some people with some different studies, and I know that back in the day when we used to play on turf, I'm saying back in the day like it was 30 years ago, but back in the day when we used to play on turf, they used to say sneakers or rubber cleats, no metal, because I think the metal would clinch into the ground. But then somebody else was talking, and I'm gonna think that they don't wear metal cleats, but I'm gonna say that rubber cleats still have a bad connection kind of with the turf,
right?
To where players sometimes with the spikes, I mean they're not actual spikes, but the spike parts of the cleats will get stuck in the turf and you can't move your foot that well, hence the amount of ACL injuries and all this other stuff.
Yes.
Which the NFLPA honestly should have been campaigning for natural grass instead of no preseason last year, but that's what you get when you fucking waste your time. I did much better at third base. Yes, the hot corner, it is challenging. I also want to tell a story. And Sox is going to like this because this is a Red Sox player involved.
Oh, yeah.
So last week we started college. At least I started my second year, and the first class was basic writing. This guy's a Mets fan, so he was talking about his career transition from being, from wanting to do baseball in high school, then working with his dad as an exterminator, then going into the English profession as a teacher and all that stuff. So. The third base coach, so he was playing third base against George Washington High School one day. And the third base coach is like, hey, back up. So he thought he was just trying to jerk with him. Like, hey, you know what? This guy's just trying to bust my balls. He goes, right. No, back up. So he said it about a few more times. Then he finally backs up. And this ball comes right near his face. It doesn't hit him. It doesn't do any of that stuff. That's why they call it the hot corner, everybody. And I think it went through for a base hit or something happened where he caught it. And he decided, look, obviously I don't have the motivation. I don't have the path to go to baseball anymore. Now, I will give you one hint. Red Sox outfielder.
And what's the time frame we're looking at here?
Okay, so he was a Red Sox outfielder. All I'm going to say is between 2000 and this is I'm not like I'm giving you years. I'm going to say, and this one should be easy to guess when if you all right, let's just say you don't guess it. I'll give you the player and you'll be like, fuck, how did I not guess that? But I'm not going to give you the correct years. I'm going to give you the just general time span.
All right.
2000 to 2009.
Oh, no. My guess is I don't know. I don't know if Damon was there that long ago.
I'll give you one more guess.
Oh,
trust me, you're on the right track, man. You're on the right track. Red Sox outfielder. Chat, please throw some names in. Help us help Sox Arizona out.
2009. You know what? And that's like before, and that's like a little bit before my time. I was a little bit too young to be following at that time. So my guess would be Ellsbury.
Okay. That's going to be a no. No to Ellsbury, Tony. I'm going to take one more guess from the audience, maybe two. Because this one, you're going to shoot. You're going to be like, fuck, I should have got it.
So this guy you went to is in your college class?
No, this guy actually is my teacher.
Oh, he's
my professor. And he played against this former Red Sox, who was an outfielder.
Manny Ramirez.
Ding, ding, ding.
Let's go.
Manny Ramirez.
George Washington what I'm talking about.
It's good you didn't wrong guess it, but yeah, true story.
Dude, that's Manny really Ramirez. Cool. Wow. A line drive right at his head, huh?
And I guess there's a couple of things that go into my career path and all that stuff. And I'm not going to get into the boring shit, but like back when I used to play Little League and all that stuff, like in Jim Thorpe, which was northeastern Pennsylvania, like you wouldn't hear of anybody that was coming, this guy went to the big leagues, this and this. And even though guys from different high schools around here, they've played in the major leagues, they've played in the NFL, and the schools aren't great, like in terms of colleges, you still hear of guys. Like I'll give you an example. Gus Edwards, running back from running back for the Ravens. He went to a school around here called Abraham Lincoln High School. For instance, Dylan Betances, he played against my high school a few short years ago. And I have a funny story that leads into that is my coach, and I'm still sort of friends with him. So, when there's the baseball games, I'll go and whatever. Dylan Betances was up at the plate and he looked at my coach, blew him a kiss and hit a home run.
No way.
Yep. And then there's another guy that used to play for that. Actually, no, it was a different high school. You may know his name. He's not up with the Blue Jays as of right now. Josh Palacios.
Sounds familiar.
So just some familiar names to throw out there, which I'm happy that, I get to tell these stories and whatnot. So I'm going to get some comments in the chat. I got cut in high school. Now I want to take Billy Epler's job. All right. Well, they did actually just announce that Sandy Alderson is going to step back from that president's role. So I guess Steve Cohen ain't playing around. MH, I would like to know some of your insight on that. The Yankees should win the division by now. 6.5 games up. Yep. Keep coasting. And that's going to be and keep coasting. More people are going to buy tickets to our event on October 11th. So yeah, I can't wait for that. Let's see. Third base at Elon average was 346 homers, 51 RBIs, and 32 doubles. Wow. Extra base hits galore.
That's what I'm talking about.
Let's see. Man. Shouts to Miz. What's going on, Miz? Stranded with Tony Clark says Ellsbury is one of the guesses. The guy on the Guardians. Yeah, as I said before, it was Manny Ramirez. And once again, cool story that I was told there. Were you an opposite field hitter or were you a pull hitter?
Pull hitter all the way. And I wasn't a power hitter either. I just slapped it into left field all the time. That's all I did.
yes, Ms. The Yankees are off tonight. As I said, guys, we got some people in here.
Sox are
Questions,
too.
comments. We're going through a lot of stuff right now. We're telling like little league and junior varsity stories and all that stuff because, well, obviously we connect like that. We were talking about rules earlier. Now let me ask you a question. Let's see. I was a pull hitter and I had speed. I can't say that I had speed, to be fair.
I didn't either.
Like
I'm
just
6'4", man. I was 6'2", 6'3" in high school. I did not have speed.
I mean, I haven't grown much. I mean, I'm literally 5'6", 5'6",
Okay.
5'7". That's incredibly short for anyone my age. But I was an opposite field hitter. When
Impressive.
yeah, I mean, it's a weird stage if anyone wants an explanation. Yankees getting healthy at the right time. It's good we survived the storm. I got fast from running from bullies. That's an interesting comment right there. What a catch by Mike Williams. Yeah, he's been good tonight. I was watching the game earlier. I think the Chargers are still in the lead, if I'm not mistaken. But I remember for the first 2 games in Little League, when I started playing baseball in the 4th grade, I couldn't hit shit. All I hit was ground balls, outs, all that stuff. Shouts to Luca in the chat. What's going on, man?
What's up, Luca?
He's probably watching the Chargers game. 17-7. Is that the score you're predicting for the Giants on Sunday? Mine's 24-20, but that's obviously going to be a subject down the line. So I couldn't hit shit for the first few games. Alex no longer runs from bullies. Well, I never ran from bullies. That's the thing. Like,
Alex was the bully.
Well, in certain cases, yes. In certain cases, yes. When it called for it, when people were talking shit, sometimes you got to talk shit back. But NYY News TV, Pete is in the chat. So go, as I said, it's pinned. Buy your tickets for October the 11th. It's the score, you idiot. Oh, well, you know what? I'm not watching the game right now, so how the fuck am I supposed to know? I have Herbert on my fantasy team. I have Herbert on like 2 of my fantasy teams, but he's doing good. Ovaltine in the house. Yes, that's Luca. Ovaltine. Sunday, Giants 27, Panthers 24.
I'll take 27 points.
Yeah. So, like, the first 2 games I remember, Ovaltine fan. Yeah. Unfortunately, Pete is now a part of the Ovaltine fan, which is not good. But anyway, like, the first 2 games I remember, I couldn't hit shit. I couldn't hit shit at all. And then I started this trend where I would just pop the ball up. Like, now, Pete, if he's still in chat, probably knows the swing because he's a Yankees fan. And I have a bat right here. As I said, I was an opposite field hitter. Everything would go up. So the first couple of games, or at least the next couple of games, everything would drop in front of the right fielder. But I got less lucky as the season went on because those would turn into outs.
Yeah.
So that was my luck. And I remember I kind of got fucked in a way because we were beating the shit out, and we had like replica MLB jerseys. Like the first year I was with the Reds, and we were facing the Pirates, and I was facing a guy. There was in this part of Little League, they would do coach pitch and then like later innings kid pitch. And if the kid was not pitching well, they'd bring the coach in and that stuff. So I was actually hitting against the guy who's got a scholarship for Penn State. I think he's there right now, if I'm not mistaken. He's going to pitch for Penn State. So if he makes something out of himself, I could say, hey, I know that guy.
Right. Nice.
But I remember we were beating the shit out of them 17-0. And then I was supposed to get up, and they're like, you know what? Mercy roll. I'm like, fuck, you telling me I can't hit. So, but it was an interesting season. It tells you certain things play out weirdly because we lost in the playoffs to a team that was winless the entire season. And that team ended up winning the championship.
See, that's Little League things right there. That's just how it is.
That was the Cubs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I played for the Dodgers for 4 years in Little League.
Wow. You know what? You're funny you say that because we lost the championship to the Dodgers.
Really?
Not the Reds, not the Pirates, but when I was with the Diamondbacks. I was with the Diamondbacks for 2 years. And
Yeah.
that was like the first year wasn't good, but the second year was like my prime year. All right, let me ask you this. Where have you and where have you been hit by a baseball in terms of a hit by pitch?
Okay, I remember one time really bad getting hit right in the hip bone on my left hip bone as a right-handed batter, and I don't really remember getting hit anytime other than that. I played way back in the box. I'm trying to pull everything, so anything on the outside part of the plate, I'm taking. Anything near me, I'm swinging at. So, but I will say, I remember in Little League one time, we had this kid that wasn't he played baseball, but he wasn't an athlete, and he had his cell phone in his pocket, and he got drilled with a pitch right on his cell phone, and it was in 6-8 pieces, man. I'm like, what are you thinking?
Why would you keep your phone in there?
Yeah, he was too young to have a phone anyways, in my opinion, but it is.
How old was he?
We were in Little League, probably like 9, 10.
Was it like an iPhone or was it like a flip phone?
No, it was a flip phone. It was in pieces, though.
Yeah, I didn't get a phone until like 7th grade. I mean, that's good enough, but
yeah, that's definitely.
It was one of them stupid little track phones, but I guess everyone has to start somewhere.
Right.
But yeah, the first time I was hit was actually on the helmet. And the second time I was hit, I want to say, okay, so I'm trying to do this that was my first year. My second year, I want to say maybe I want to say I was hitting the ankle. I want to say it was hitting the ankle. So that was my second. My third year, I was hit twice in a game, and it was very odd in a way. So I was hit right. I don't want to say on the ass because that's not true. Little more down. So I was, lefty, and it really fucking hurt because that was he threw a fastball right down the middle of the first pitch. The second pitch was right there. I'm like, oh fuck. So I threw my helmet. I was pissed. I'm like, fuck. And then and the umpire's trying to tell me to calm down. I mean, to be fair, one of my teammates' mothers had a restraining order against him. So, I mean, I'm going to tell you guys something in terms of, because I have a shit ton of stories, but nothing will get better, in my opinion, than two things: city stories and small town country stories, because you will never believe half the shit that people say.
No,
and sometimes you won't, it's like a see it to believe it sort of thing. So I was hit by the pitch, and then my second at bat, I was hit. I didn't know it. I didn't say anything, but I was hitting the jersey because it came off the plate, and then boom, right there. And then next year, we faced them the first game. And then my first hit was actually an opposite field double. Again, I was an opposite field hitter. And then I also remember in practice one day, I almost belted a home run. I never actually got to, unfortunately. Hopefully, like one of these days, I actually go down to the field again and start hitting dingers rather than shit off the wall. But I just remember from there, I just wanted to start hitting home runs. I kind of got that, adrenaline rush. But anyway, the next time I was hit was actually on the elbow. And actually, no, that was against the Mets, not the same guy. That was a previous year, but it was against the same team. So I got hit on the elbow. I kind of overreacted, not going to lie. I mean, sometimes when you're younger, you don't know any better.
Yeah.
But it was a straight curveball to the elbow.
Yeah, I don't remember any specific, like, really good shots in Little League. All the good times I got hit were later on in junior high and then early high school.
A day before Bagwell, his first MLB home run in 91, Tony Gwynn told him to never change his batting stance. Bagwell credits Gwynn for his 449 home runs. I was hitting the ribs the first time, and it scared me for weeks in the box. Trust me, no, that shit really scares you. I'm going to tell you another story. There was this kid by the name of Dennis Slater, and he was like one of the best players on the team. This is my first year playing, and this is 4th grade, so, I'm just still getting into things, whatever. And he was ridiculous when it came to outfield warmups. Like, he'd throw grounders that were ridiculous, and it was on an uneven ground. So it's like, okay, is it going to hit your leg? Is it not going to hit your leg? Whatever. And then what happened was one day it caught my ankle. It hurt me badly. They brought me back. I was out for the. I want to say I was out for the rest of the game, and and then in practice a few days later, my coach threatened to bench me, and then my mom wasn't necessarily happy about that. So,
yeah. No, yeah. That kind of stuff.
I was a bit of an asshole, though. I'm not gonna everybody hates losing, but some guys just take we were 6-2, and he said we sucked.
Right.
Meanwhile, I was friends with he was a janitor at the school that I was at. Not the guy that was my coach, but the winless Cubs. The same team that won the championship that year. He was saying, well, we haven't won a game yet. And he's got, he's mad about being 6-2. Hell, sometimes shit just works out in very funny ways. You got any funny stories, Sox, Little League wise?
We were in, I don't know how it worked. We were in a small town. So everybody in Little League played each other every single year. Yeah. So we would have like these rivalries. For us, we were on the Dodgers, obviously all 4 years, which was really cool. And our rival was the Diamondbacks, and it was because the coaches had personal beef off the field. So
really,
yeah, I mean, it was awesome. It's small town stuff, just like you said. The stories that come out are awesome. But they would have beef. They have and for us, we had a pitch count. So I think it was like 65 or 75 pitches you could throw as a starter in Little League. And all I can remember is that they would always like save up their starters. Like they would save the arms for the Diamondbacks, Dodgers. They would always try to have, even if one team was bad, no matter what. And we dominated in Little League. Like it wasn't even close. We had a thing called Tournament of Champions for the winner of each league. So tournament champions would be down in a big city called like in Phoenix or whatever. And if you won that, you'd go on to play in the Little League World Series. We got to play in the Tournament of Champions like 3 out of 4 years. It was really cool.
Wow. Making moves, aren't we?
Yeah, for real.
I will say this before we continue this conversation because I kind of like where it's going. Tony says, fantasy update, Mike Williams to the Chargers, 25 points already. That's awesome. And what I will ask all of you to do, and this is a little fun thing that somebody came up with. I don't know if he's going to be in the chat at all. There's an account called NYG Content Creator Highlights. He creates highlights of Giants content creators and a lot of different folks. And he started a polling system in terms of, voting for content creators. Right now, and this is a pal of mine that we actually had on Monday, talk about the Giants, the Jets, the Yankees a little bit. His name is Nerding Out Sports, so please subscribe to that channel. But right now, I'm leading him 90.9% to 9.1. So I have a pretty big lead. I'm not going to lie. And just to secure that, we have 22 hours left in voting. Please go vote for me. We have a large lead right now. I kind of want to sustain it. So go out and vote, all that stuff. There's the link. It's a little fun thing this guy put together. So
nice.
I thought it'd be nice. I went to Cooperstown when I was 12 for a baseball tournament. I want to say I was 12 when I went to Cooperstown, maybe 13.
Nice.
Yeah, I was 12. I was 12 when I went to Cooperstown. It was a nice experience, Hopefully I go back there someday. What the hell I was gonna say? What was the last thing you were talking about? How coaches had beef with you? Okay, I'm trying to redirect my mind before I went on that Twitter thing to like, where was I? What was I thinking about in terms of Little League? I mean, I have tons of shit. Let's see. Holy crap! There's literally a ton. How about this? Have you ever pitched?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I pitched in Little League. Like all the way up until high school, I was a pitcher, and like I was a tall kid. I was a little bit oversized for that Little League field. I dominated on the mound. I remember just throwing the ball hard. I was not accurate at all, but no movement, nothing, no off-speed pitches. Just here you go, hit it.
So Jetsman Smith says, who did you pick tonight? I picked the Chiefs. Unfortunately, that's going to go to rot.
17-14 right now.
What's the score?
17-14.
Okay, 3 points.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Anyway, I mean, I got a lot of Chargers players on fantasy and that shit. But I remember the first time Now, some of you may remember him, some of you may not, because I know Jets Smith was a later supporter. He came in when we had Jeremy Cravett from Jets Chaos on the show. That's when Jets Smith started becoming a loyal supporter of this channel. I know Evan obviously knows him because he met him in real life. Now you've probably seen him, a couple months back when you were just viewing the channel. His name is Sean. He happens to be my best friend. And I remember we faced. We were getting blown the shit out of 17-9. And it was the 6th inning. You guys played, 6 innings, right, in the Little League? Okay. Brett Myers was on my team in college. Why do I remember the name, not the face? Brett Myers. Let's see. Oh, I see what you're talking about. The pitcher. Yeah, okay, now I remember him. But anyway, I remember the first because then they said, okay, you're gonna go in and pitch. So I'm like, yay, we're gonna go in. I'm gonna go in and pitch, and I had this big ass smirk when I actually what did I do when I actually faced him, and I walked him. I walked a lot of guys that day. I struck out 2 midgets, like they were legit small. And then I remember there was this one play where there was a grounder back to me, and I threw it to first base. My friend Tyler didn't catch it. Like, it was literally the easiest throw, and he didn't get it. He looked at me like it was my fault. I'm like, how is it my fault? Final score ended up being like 20-9, and I don't think I pitched the rest of the season.
That, you know what, that reminds me, I was probably in my 3rd year of Little League. I'd say 11, maybe 12. And I was on the bump and had a no-hitter going, right? Probably in the 5th inning. I still have the baseball. I ended up throwing a no-hitter. I had a perfect game going into the 5th. And easiest ground ball to second base. I remember this kid named Antoine. I'll never forgive him. Ball right through the wickets to give him an error to take away the perfect game. I ended up throwing a no-hitter, probably I think it was 15 strikeouts that day, and so that's pretty good for six innings of baseball, and no walks. Just dominating out there. That's how it is.
I can't say that. Well, actually, maybe I don't think I've ever been no hit. Like maybe once in my career.
I think I got no hit once.
Probably high school. High school. Little League, I can't remember. Did they do the thing in Little League where you had left center field, right center field, and right, or was it just casual left, center, and right?
No, straight up.
How about like 12 different hitters?
No, but I remember that the coach you had to play everybody, so everybody had to have 2 innings in the field and 1 at bat.
2 innings in the field. And you know what was crazy? And my coaches kind of let me get away with this a little bit. I would bring, and this ain't the healthiest, it's kind of obvious. This ain't the healthiest for particularly any baseball player. Is I'd bring fucking slushies into the dugout. I'd bring like chicken nuggets and I'd snack while in the game, like Mark Sanchez eating a hot dog. So
yeah, I remember.
I'm skinny as hell, so I kind of have the excuse.
Yeah, I'm still skinny as hell too. But I remember like my mom would be bringing me snacks through the little hole in the dugout, like eating in between innings. I remember that.
Man, yeah. All right, let me ask you this: if you can remember, how long was your Little League field in terms of like dimension wise?
I think it was 3. Maybe like it's like 235, too short. Maybe am I thinking I saw 235 maybe to left field?
It's you know what? You want to know a fun fact while we're at it? My height. Now this is a high school I didn't play for. Now it was my first year, and then I moved to Brooklyn again. Their right field. You're gonna laugh at this. Their right field distance is longer than Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that at all. I'll tell you what, my high school, the center field is like 450.
450 in center.
It's ridiculous. It's literally 450. There's never been a home run hit to center field in my high school.
Wow. So I'm gonna see if I. Okay, I'm trying to pull up the actual baseball field. Okay, so see if I can get a clear picture because I don't want to be looking at, old cringy ass photos of people I don't know. That's like one of my worst pet peeves. But the field we used to play on is McGarvey Field, and it was actually pretty fun in its time. Yeah, I mean, I can't get a clear fucking picture for shit, but it was a fun time in Little League. I mean,
We played on Billy Hatcher Field, who, if you know who do you know who Billy Hatcher is?
I know the name, I don't know the face.
Billy Hatcher is the current third base coach, I believe, for the Cincinnati Reds, and he played, I think, left field back in the day for the Sox, a couple other teams. And Billy Hatcher and his brother Johnny both graduated from my high school in Williams, Arizona.
Wow.
Both big leaguers.
Yeah, I'm looking at him right now. Born in 1960, Williams, Arizona.
That's my hometown.
Williams High School, so that it makes all the sense in the world. I'm just really trying to think of some of the memories, like, oh man, from like I never hit the furthest the biggest hit I got was a triple. I will say that. Opposite field again. Like that's one of my most memorable traits is being an opposite field hitter. And I know that's very rare in today's game of baseball.
Right.
Tony says, you were saying?
No, I remember I never hit a home run in a game over the fence, but I hit a ton of inside the park home runs.
Unfortunately, I never did. As I said, the biggest hit I ever got was what do you call it? A triple. And my lack of aggressiveness on the base pass didn't help me score. Like it was a clear triple. I wouldn't advance anything like that. But then it's like having the Yankees bottom of the order as your next three hitters. There were a few balls that got away, and my coach was like, well, you should have went there. And I never scored because the next three struck out.
Yeah.
So that's like one of the worst parts of being at the bottom of the order. And then I never really was put first until my junior varsity year. When I was in high school, the first game we actually played, actually the second one against one of the richer high schools. I was actually leadoff, and I kind of was happy about that. I mean, I didn't get a hit, I think, till later in the game, but yeah. Listen. Thoughts on Sean's free agency in with Boys in the Big Apple? Will Yankee Chronicles offer a max contract? You are a funny guy. I'll update you on Sean. I just want to get the two comments real quick. I had some opposite field hits as well. Thoughts on Correa's future? Let me look at the standing. Oh, yeah, 71 and 70. Oof, yeah. I mean, the money's good. What is it, like $38 million or something like that for
yeah.
$38 million. So he may not opt out because of the money, but if he wants to go to a more winning situation, I mean, he's not going to go to the Yankees because Brian Cashman last year did not actually. It's proven he did not actually want to go after a shortstop. I had some opposite fields hits as well. Said Evan. Tony said furthest homer I hit at Elon was dead center, cleared the wall at least 20 feet. Dead center was about 420. Wow. So Tony was a good baseball player back at his high school. But I guess an update on Sean. I mean, I'm not going to go into personal situations. I know what he's been going through. He's been going, from place to place. He's not really set. He wants to move into an apartment, and then that's when he's going to come back. He's still going to college. He's still working. He's doing all that stuff. He made one little appearance, I will say. He made one little appearance since February, and that was actually towards the end of the Hall of Fame game stream we did. I remember Donald was on, and he said hi to Donald. So I mean, we had a legit talk about it. A few weeks back when he was staying with me for a little bit, and he said, "Look, the reason why I just took a break is because, I really don't have a consistent situation right now." And once I, settle down and everything, set up my work schedule, I'll be back in business. But MH, you'll be interested in this because he's been doing this while he's been in a couple of different places, including Pennsylvania. I'm actually going to give you his Twitch. He's probably not going to be streaming this weekend, but this is Sean's Twitch channel. I mean, you might not be into NASCAR and wrestling, but Sean's Twitch, if you put comments in the chat, he'll definitely respond. He'll definitely know who you are, MH. But yeah, same thing goes for Evan and some of the guys that do remember him. He'll be back on at some point. I'm not going to put a timetable on it. He's doing stuff with his radio station called WSIA, which is the only radio station on Staten Island. Obviously, that's a borough down from me. So, he's doing his thing. We're doing ours. Donald's been, a blessing to have in terms of the Boys in the Big Apple podcast. He is going to be at our event on the 11th. So, Evan, if you come and join up, you'll see him. Also, MH, you're welcome. But what I'm pissed about is the fact that the all division series are going to be premiering on the same day. So if I wanted to invite a Mets fan, it's not necessarily going to work because we're not going to be playing the Mets game. We're going to play the Yankees game. Still going to be a fun event, however. But yeah, I only faced Sean once when I was in Little League, and that was we used to go to. We used to go out to McGarvey Field and play all the time and all that stuff. I remember we carried a bunch of shit in our lockers after school, and we would go down the field. And it was funny. Also, this one story that kind of relates, but not. One of the biggest things I dislike is two things: cashless and the fact that you have a credit card minimum, like $10, $15, whatever. So we went to this gas station.
I didn't know that was a thing. I don't have that.
Y'all don't have that over there.
I don't have a credit card minimum on mine.
Well, I mean, not on your credit card, but like you go to a store and, the minimum you can purchase with a debit card or a credit card is like $10.
No.
Y'all don't see that over there.
Nope.
That's a blessing. Because
you can buy a pack of gum with a card.
Well, that's your luck. Because there's a lot of places around here, and especially in Pennsylvania as well, where they don't want to pay commission. They don't want to pay that extra. So that's the whole factor in there. But I remember from that day is I had my Visa debit card. It really wasn't a debit card; it was a prepaid. So we went to the gas station to get some drinks and whatever, and it was really unhealthy. Like we got chips, we got Mountain Dew. It's not stuff you're supposed to be eating and drinking as a baseball player. And then it added up to like $3 and like. The minimum is 10. I'm like, fuck. So we literally got a couple more things. It was like $5. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. So my brother ended up paying for it, and then that was pretty much that. Evan says, hope Sean is doing well. I was happy I got to see him on NYY News TV Day. Yeah, I mean, listen, as long as he's always gonna be coming to these events and stuff. I'm trying. I don't know that he'll be going with me to a game this season, but as I said, I always let him know about y'all. Go his Twitch channel. As I said, he's probably not going to be streaming this weekend, but he'll probably be streaming the next weekend, talking about WWE and stuff. So, all good stuff there. I was an above average hitter because of my brother. I had plans to play professionally, but took a line drive to my head in the senior year, and it destroyed my vision and brain surgery. Holy shit, dude.
Sorry about that, Tony. That's tough to hear, dude.
Yeah, it's tough to hear, man. Hope everything is well since then, obviously. But yeah, anything else worth sharing in your part?
I was thinking, I based you guys talking about NYY News, all that stuff, and I just want to say, we got to get Sox out there for a Sox Yankees game. I'll try to make it out there. That would be awesome.
In terms of like, in the future, definitely. I mean,
oh yeah,
coming to the East Coast is something, and I know you obviously went to Ohio, and a lot of people consider that more the Central,
right?
That's like Midwest, but yeah, you got to come out to the, the East Coast whenever, like whether you come for a Giants game or whatever,
right?
Red Sox, Yankees. I mean, let me actually take a look at something real quick.
It'll have to be Sox Yankees because I know they released the schedule for next year.
Yes, actually, I kind of want to take a look at that.
Yeah,
kind of want to take a look at that. So,
and you know what? I know the Sox are coming to. I already got plans. We're going to see them in San Diego and Arizona next year with the new revised schedule. It is awesome. They're going everywhere, man.
Yeah, that was actually my next question because I'm like, they play everybody next year.
So I'll be going to at least 6 Sox games, which is unheard of over here.
Yeah, so let's look at 2023. Okay, spring training. Yeah, I would like to go down for spring training, though.
That'd be cool.
That's one of my aspirations.
I grew up going to spring training because it's in my home state.
Well, that's lucky for you. I mean, though the Red Sox do play in Florida, so yeah. I mean, you still get to see some baseball and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
So we open up against San Francisco. Hopefully, Judge doesn't leave to them. But the Sox, they come in 3 games in June. They go out to Boston 3 games in June again. So they don't play them until June. I mean, that's kind of been the trend a little bit, but it's going to be less and less with this whole playing everybody.
Summer would be best. That's probably a good time, honestly.
Yeah. Let's see what else. They play Boston on my birthday. Wow.
What day is that?
That's Saturday, August 19th. That is going to be my 20th birthday.
Maybe we should do that.
Yes. If I'm not going anywhere, doing nothing, that would be great. They play a 3-game set that weekend.
All right, dude. I'm telling you. Let's talk about it. But Sox will be flying out if you're down.
Yeah. Then they play in Boston 4 games in September, and that's pretty much that. So, let me ask you, if you've looked at the schedule, what parts are your favorite?
You know, I just absolutely love that we're integrating the whole everybody plays everybody, because it's been a long time coming. You know, there's 162 games. There's no reason why everybody shouldn't be playing everywhere. You know, I think there's some people that are on the other side of that, but I think it's awesome for at least as a fan.
Tony says 2 biggest surprises in the NFL Week 1 were Burrow throwing 4 picks and Carson Wentz with 4 touchdowns. Yeah, Burrow had a struggling day. I mean, they still were in the game, though. Pittsburgh's offense is fucking terrible. And as for Carson Wentz, you know, he had a big day against his former coach, Doug Peterson. But one thing I'm just pissed at is the fact that the Yankees actually have to go to LA next year, and they're not playing against LA here, the Dodgers specifically. And there's 2 fun facts, really. One fun fact is I've seen them play every single AL East opponent at Yankee Stadium. And then I've seen them play a representative, at least one, from every single division, but the NL West.
Oh, okay.
So that's kind of why I was rooting for that Dodgers series, but it would be so expensive too because of how high profile it is. Imagine if Judge came back and they were playing, you know, at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, true. Well, maybe you can get out here to LA and go see him at Dodger Stadium. That'd be quite the experience.
Dodger Stadium is on my list to see in terms of stadiums and all that stuff. And what was I going to say? They open up against San Francisco next year. So if we're having an event for NYY News TV Day, which we could actually plan in advance, I'm not hinting anything. Trust me, our next event is our next event. You know, if that's the day, then listen, that'd complete my trip in terms of baseball. So that would be fun. And hopefully we get it on Thursday this year, not a Friday, because one thing that I didn't get to do was eat a chicken bucket, because that was my I can't remember the correct word, Lent fasting, whatever, and it was a Friday, and that's what I do in terms of my religion for a few weeks. So, you know, unfortunately, I couldn't eat meat that day or dairy, which is tricky, but you know, that's what happens.
That's really tricky, especially at a ballpark.
Yeah, and like, you know, you got French fries, but you don't know if they're dairy, and then you got, you know, certain foods, and it's like you don't know what to eat. I don't like playing everyone. It cheapens the World Series for me, but that's just me. I could see your point there, because it kind of takes away from the fun of like playing a World Series team in the playoffs. Like Yankees, Mets,
that side of it.
Those teams never played. Well, I mean, no, that's a stupid statement. Might be they play every year.
It's like the Red Sox and Diamondbacks. I saw them a few years ago. They never play each other. It was the first time since 2007 that the Sox were in Arizona, and now it looks like they're going to be coming, like, you know, every year, every other year.
Yeah, it's probably going to be every other year, probably because of you know, they play once a year, and you know, just how to even the schedule. And I wish they kind of would do that for football, not in the sense of play everybody, but what they really should have done with the Week 17 game, or at least the 17th game, is you play your interstate rival. Like the Giants play the Jets, the Ravens play the Commanders, the Eagles play the Steelers. I don't know who the Patriots would play. That'd be a tough one.
Who would the Cardinals play? Who would the Raiders play?
Oof. I mean, the Chargers would play. That's actually a toss-up because the Chargers would probably play the Rams, knowing that they're in the same stadium.
Right.
So maybe the Raiders play the Cards, the Texans would play the Cowboys. Who would Seattle play? Is the thing. Maybe San Francisco still, but they play twice a year. So that doesn't make much sense.
Huh.
I'm gonna actually think this out. I'm actually gonna think this out.
Okay, maybe San Francisco can play. Oh, that's also a division rival. Maybe San Francisco can play the Raiders since they used to be in California.
Yes, that's a pretty big rivalry. Okay, so I'm gonna go through every team. Miami Dolphins. They'd play the Bucks. They wouldn't play the Jags.
Oh, the Bucks. You're right.
The Bills. I can't say Patriots because they play twice a year, so I can't say that.
It's going to be tough to avoid those rivalry games, though, across the whole map.
Right. Jets, they'd play the Giants. Pats have, nobody. Steelers would play the Eagles. Ravens would play the Commanders.
Before I forget, are they not doing division games? Is that why we're presenting this, or are they doing?
No, we're presenting this because they're not doing like inner games. Like for instance, Yankees, Mets. Those two teams and those two fan bases don't like each other. Giants and Jets. It's so much indifference because they play once every 4 years and once in the preseason. So there's not really much hate there. There's not really much of a rivalry. The teams suck, but still. Browns would play the Bengals, but that kind of be uneven because they play in the same division anyway. So you could probably split that up with the Bills or the Patriots. I'm gonna write this down. Texans, they play the Cowboys. Yeah, I'm gonna write this down actually. If y'all can help us in the comments, we're just doing interstate rivalries. If there were to be an 18th game or switch it up for the 17th game, because I think that's what the 17th game should have been. So you got Texans versus the Cowboys. You have the Giants versus the Jets, the Rams versus the Chargers, the Bucks versus the Dolphins. That's 4, which equals 8 in terms of teams. Let's see. Who would Seattle play? That's a toss-up right now. Tennessee, who would they play? That's also a toss-up right now. So we went through Houston. We went Indianapolis. That's a toss-up. Jacksonville, that's a toss-up. So a lot of toss-ups. Oof. It's weird now because there's no
Jacksonville should play Tennessee. Jacksonville should play Tennessee. I'm just throwing it out there.
The thing with that is though they're in the same division. So that's what kind of would spoil it, which it's a tough one. It's a tough one. Commanders versus Ravens. I think I have that down. That's a good one. Jacksonville versus Atlanta.
Okay,
Jacksonville versus Atlanta. I like that one. Good idea. Maybe then there'll be some weird rivalry there. Both teams suck anyway. So hold on. I didn't put Steelers Eagles. So right now, on the docket, I have 7 matchups, which means a total of 14 teams, which equals not even half. Okay, so Chicago, you don't have 2 teams. New Orleans doesn't have 2 teams. Man, this is tough.
I guess just who they're closest to without being in division, right?
Yeah. Maybe Kansas City, New Orleans?
Okay, yes.
That wouldn't be bad. KC,
or Kansas City, Tennessee, right?
That could also be something. I'm gonna look at a map, even though I know my shit. So I'm gonna look at a map here. So obviously Louisiana is It's actually kind of equal distance, but Louisiana is closer to Tennessee. So maybe Saints Titans.
Okay, let's do that.
Let's do Saints Titans. Okay. All right. Let's see what else. KC and Tennessee are closer. Hold on one second. Yeah, actually, you know what? You might want to switch it to that because the two states are actually adjointed.
Right.
But then again, what you can also say is actually, now that I thought of another one, Bears versus Colts.
Good call. Great call, actually.
States neighbor each other.
Yes.
Okay. Right, all right.
Wait, did we already do what's up with the Browns and Bengals because they're in the same division?
We could probably mix them up a little bit with the
Browns,
Patriots
Bears.
and the Bills.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say Browns, Bears, and then.
So Browns, Patriots, or Bengals, Patriots.
I like Browns, Patriots.
Browns, Patriots, and then what's the other one?
Bengals, Bears.
Bengals, Bills.
Bengals, Bills.
Okay. So that is a total of, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 times 2, that's 22. So we have 10 more to resolve. Well, 5 more to resolve, 10 more teams. Let's see. See, the problem is, obviously, they're jointed in division, so it's a little bit more tougher. Man, oh man. Because the Lions, the Packers, and Vikings don't have any inter-division rivalries, but at the same, I should say interstate rivalries, but they're all in the same division.
Yeah.
So let me look at the North. See, what you could do, though, maybe match one of those North guys up with one of the North guys as well. I mean, I'm just trying to look this up geographically. It's a weird one. Seattle and Vegas. I think we said 49er Vegas because that's a little bit more of an intense rivalry. All right. So it's 49ers.
Oh, okay, so who's the furthest north? It'd be like Minnesota, Seattle.
Minnesota and Seattle. That could also be one. Vikings versus Seattle. All right. Yeah, man. So,
We're stuck with Arizona. We're stuck with Green Bay.
Yeah. So, man, okay. So I'm gonna try, and this is a fun conversation, a constructive conversation at that. So we have to make the decision of whether it's going to be geographic or same division wise. And I don't mean like literally interdivision wise, but let's say, okay, the Browns, the Bengals, they're unoccupied AFC North. But you also have the NFC North where the Packers, the Vikings, and the Lions, they're unoccupied. So that's what also as well. I mean, would you want in terms of that or geographically, like how close the states are?
I think they would do it the first option, but I think for shits and giggles, and I think more fun would be to do geographically.
So Jetsman Smith actually thinks Arizona, Vegas. See, my thing is Vegas. I'm pretty sure the Raiders and 49ers don't have they have a rivalry, at least to my knowledge.
No, they do because it's like the Battle of the Bay. It's
Battle of the Bay, yes.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm gonna scroll down on something here. So right now we have, out of ones that I'm unsure about, which I can sure up about them in the future. Saints versus Titans, Bears versus Colts, Browns versus Pats, Bengals versus Bills, 49ers versus Vegas, and Vikings versus Seattle, which leaves, let's see, we got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 times 2, that's 26. We got 3 more matchups to fill in.
Okay, Arizona, Green Bay, they got a recent rivalry with that playoff game with Larry Fitzgerald and the Hail Mary, so that we can play them.
Okay. Packers versus Cards, and obviously we can revise these much after the fact. So that's all right. So that's there. We need 2 more. We haven't said Lions yet. Who are they going to face? You know when we didn't pick? Carolina. Maybe actually no, that's same division, so that wouldn't even count. Carolina has not had somebody. So I'm gonna put them just down right now.
Carolina
Put them
can
down.
play Tennessee.
Maybe Panthers versus Titans.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Let's see, because I'm gonna put Panthers down for right now. All right. Let's see. Oof. Damn, man. Panthers, Rams, we covered. Cardinals, we just put down for right now. Bucks, we covered. 49ers, we covered. I think Seahawks, we covered as well. Or did we? Yeah, we did. South Panthers, just put down for right now. Falcons, put that down for right now. Bucks and Saints. So both those teams we put down. Packers, Lions, Bears, Vikings. Vikings put down. Panthers, Lions are also ones remaining.
Justin Herbert, pick 6.
Jesus. Oh, God damn it. All right. Lions versus Bears. We're going to eliminate interdivision rivalry. So those two are in the same division. We're going to eliminate those for right now. We're trying, if anyone is new here, we are trying to facilitate an interstate rivalry for a, what was I going to say? Interstate rivalry for a 17th game. Because I honestly, that's, once again, thought that should have been Justin Herbert threw a pick 6. Fuck, but also at the same time, yes. So the remaining teams are the Panthers and the Lions. There's 2 more that we haven't caught on to. Okay, so Dolphins, we already said. Bills, we kind of put down as a patsy right now. Jets put down, obviously. Patriots, I think we already put down. Yup. Oh, man, this is tough. We never discussed Denver.
Okay, Denver can get in the mix. Okay, that changes things.
So we got Denver.
So Denver can play the Raiders. Seattle can
in the division, though.
Fuck.
So we're missing one team. That's all I know. We're missing one team right now because the teams we haven't talked about is the Panthers, the Lions, and the Broncos. So, okay.
We did Rams Chargers, right?
We did Rams Chargers. Yep. Oh, man. So Cowboys talked about. I think did I mark it down officially? I believe
Houston.
They're playing Cowboys. This is tough, man. It's tough.
I'm glad that we're doing this. This is a good.
It's constructive, if anything.
We should submit it and see if they take our picks.
Hopefully they do. They won't, though.
No.
Oh, man. Okay. Oh, I got to stretch out real quick. It's all right. I'm missing one team. I don't know what fucking team it is.
Okay. You have 31 teams right now?
We have 31 teams. We're missing one. Okay.
Somebody in the chat tell us.
Yeah, we're missing a team. I'm gonna try to hold on. Let me see if I could hide something, and I'm gonna share my screen. Actually,
I'm gonna look up a picture of a map. I bet you I could tell it.
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen while we're at it.
Showing pictures that match.
Plays the XFL champ. Well, I mean, there is no technically leftover teams. We got 32 teams. All right, so we got the notes page. We're going to put it up here. I'm also going to put up a title. I'm going to put it as a ticker. Facilitating interstate rivalries.
Did you get the Ravens?
Ravens we got. Once a year matchups. Example, Yankees versus Mets. That's going to be the ticker so people understand it.
Oh, nice.
Right. Use this ticker, and it's going to be down bottom so people once again understand it. Did we cover the Steelers? Yes, the Steelers will be playing the Eagles in that case. So the screen has pretty much all the teams we have. I forgot the I in inner, of course. Second right now. We got that. Okay. Oof. This is a hard one. Okay.
I don't think we're missing anybody.
We're definitely missing one because we don't have we're missing a team.
Commanders.
Commanders we got. You know
Indy.
what? Start naming them. I'll tell you who they're playing and if we have them
Okay.
down.
Who's Green Bay playing?
Cardinals.
Philadelphia. Pittsburgh.
Steelers.
Seattle.
Vikings.
Kansas City. Is that the team we're missing?
Maybe it is.
That's the team we're missing.
That's the team we're missing. Okay. Okay.
There we go. Processing elimination.
Yes. So there we are. Now,
So
I'm comfortable with these ones. Now you guys can see my screen. I'm comfortable with these. I'm not so comfortable with these just yet. So once again, folks, what we're trying to do here is facilitate interstate rivalries, and the teams don't. Sometimes these teams don't play in the same state, and we're not going to facilitate a rivalry that is interdivision wise. So I'm not going to put, for instance, I'm not going to put Browns Bengals. Like they play in the same division, they play twice a year anyway, so that wouldn't make much sense at all. So there's the leftover teams, and that's a lot of matchups we got to go through. So, Sox, I'm going to trust you to have a map on you.
yeah, I do.
What was I going to say? The other thing we're going to depend on is who's missing from what division as well. So, I'm actually going to do that right now. So, we're going to mark down NFC North. I think we're missing some, people from there. NFC South. I don't think we're missing anybody from the East. Like, that's all good. NFC West, just in case. I don't think we're missing anyone from there. AFC North, AFC East. It's out of order. Yes, I know. AFC South and AFC West. Okay, so the Saints, they obviously will go in the NFC South one. Bolden these to make them titles. Okay.
What's up, Jeffrey?
Shout outs to Jeffrey. What's going on? Too bad. The Rams in Missouri would have been a good rivalry with the Chiefs, but unfortunately, Stan Kroenke, that guy. Titans, obviously, they're going to the AFC South. Colts, same thing. Bears, they're going to the NFC North, obviously. Bears, already covered that. Browns, they go into the AFC North. Bengals, same division. Pats, they go into the AFC East, along with the Bills. Patriots, Bills. Okay. Niners go for the... Hold on, I want to make sure. Okay, so the 49ers, NFC West, right there. Vegas, that's the AFC West. Raiders. Vikings, that's the NFC North. We'll also put the Packers there while we are at it. So Vikings, Packers, San Francisco, also accompanied by the Seahawks. The Arizona Cardinals, also the Chiefs and the Broncos. Okay, so we got Broncos crossed off, Chiefs crossed off. And we got a whole division with nobody to match up against. Holy shit.
Okay.
NFC South, the Panthers, and then Cardinals for the NFC West. Okay, here we are. So we got our established matchups. No, you're good, Jeffrey. You're good. You're a loyal supporter. You don't need to apologize. Obviously, life comes in, and sometimes that's you're all good, man. With a great win. Yep, great win for the Giants. Definitely on Sunday. Hopefully, they kick the Panthers' ass again. Well, I don't think they will. I think they'll win though, which is a big step up.
If they go 2-0, I don't know. I'm gonna be excited about them.
I will be damn excited. Plus,
Yeah.
going into Monday night without Dak Prescott. I mean,
Oh,
all right. Here we are once again. Oh boy.
so
Okay.
I'm thinking, just looking at it, I'm thinking Kansas City can play the Titans. I know we already chose somebody for the Titans, I believe.
Not officially, no. Not officially, no. So I'm gonna pull up a map as well, because that would help me, of course. Okay, so Tennessee is next to North Carolina while also neighboring Missouri.
So maybe Titans, Panthers.
Titans, Panthers, Chiefs, Bears. But then again, you'd be putting the Colts in jeopardy.
Yeah. You know what I'm thinking? The Colts got to play somebody in Ohio.
Okay, I like that actually. Jeffrey, it is 24-17 in the fourth quarter. The Chiefs currently lead right now. So you said they got to play somebody in Ohio. So we talked about, what did we say? We said Bears versus Chiefs. We also said Titans versus Panthers. Okay. So that knocks those guys off the list. Titans, Chiefs, Panthers, and what was the other team we just talked about? The Bears. Okay. All right. So that evens up the playing field just a little bit. So you said that the Colts have to play somebody in Ohio.
It's got to be Cincinnati, too. It just seems like it fits like that,
Okay. All right.
Do we have somebody for the Bears already?
Chiefs.
Bears, Chiefs. Okay.
Okay. So we got the Bengals. They are done for. So are the Colts. All right. So, oh boy. Okay.
Now we got the Browns in jeopardy, right?
The Browns. Yep. Also to note, we have two AFC East teams that have no home yet in terms of a rivalry. So maybe you want to match up one of those.
Yeah, let's do the Browns against one of them so we can knock them off.
Browns, we're definitely going to put them up there. As I said, it's weird geographically to figure it out. So we got the Browns. Who are they going to play? Pats, are they going to play the Bills? I think they're going to play the
They're
Pats.
not that far away from Buffalo.
True. Actually, we're going to do the math. Well, maps. Interesting subject to say the least. Cleveland, Ohio. Okay, so a car drive is actually 3 hours.
See, that's nothing.
You got it. You got it. So Browns versus Bills. Tony says Indy is close to Cincy.
Yeah, see, that's what I was saying. It just seems right that way.
Okay, so we got Browns versus Bills. Okay, so we're tightening up here. We did say Battle of the Bay, right? 49ers Raiders.
Yeah, that seems like it has to fit.
49ers Raiders. So the Raiders taken care of. 49ers. Okay. So
Saints I mean, we could make this.
I'm looking particularly right now. I'm particularly looking at the Broncos. Either they played the Seahawks or the Cardinals. It's a tough one.
I think they should play the Cardinals.
Broncos, Cardinals.
Because then you can still do Seahawks, Vikings because they're the most north.
Broncos
teams.
Versus. Oh, not Seahawks. What were the one? Cardinals. Okay. Broncos are gone. Was it Cardinals are gone? Okay. So now we have 6 teams remaining. The Patriots still don't have a buddy. Okay. We said Vikings, Seahawks, right? Vikings,
think
Seahawks.
whoever's closest to the Patriots should play them. Is it the Lions?
Vikings, Seahawks. Okay.
Patriots, Lions.
Hold on. What was the last thing? So we got that. Damn, what was the one I just thought of? So Packers, Saints, and Lions, Pats.
Luca's dropping a news bomb.
Oh, my fucking fantasy team.
Yeah, I hope he's okay. What happened, Luca?
Please tell us. Saints versus Packers, Lions versus Patriots. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to put it down to is out of state makeup rivalries.
Is he going to be able to play, Luca?
Yeah, please let us know. Interstate rivalries. Okay, so we got Texans, Cowboys, Giants, Jets, Bucks, Dolphins, Rams versus the Chargers, Commanders versus the Ravens, the Steelers versus the Eagles, followed by Bears, Chiefs, Titans, Panthers, Colts, Bengals, Browns, Bills, 49ers, Raiders, Broncos versus the Cardinals, Vikings versus the Seahawks, the Saints versus the Packers, the Lions versus the Pats, and Jacksonville versus Atlanta. Damn. So a lot of nice ones there. So what's your personal favorite
out of all these matchups?
Yep.
You know, I'm loving Giants Jets. I just absolutely love when those two teams play. I don't know how you guys feel over there living close to it, but over here as a Giants fan, it's just so cool when one of those teams takes over MetLife. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I live in the same house as a Jets fan, so that's not particularly an easy one.
Yeah, it sucks because the Giants were good, you know, when we were young, but now it's like both these teams scraping the bottom of the barrel. That's tough.
So Tony's favorite is Seahawks, Vikings. All right.
What about you?
Let me pull it up again. Besides Giants, Jets, besides those guys, I'm gonna have to pick
Colts Bengals too. I like that. I like that matchup.
For out of state, I'm gonna take Titans Panthers because I think it's different. And then for in state, I'm gonna take Steelers Eagles.
Nice.
Steelers Eagles or Texans Cowboys. One of them is just, you know, I like both kind of. So I think we can make our way into our playoff predictors, but NFL picks obviously outside of this game. So he's back in. What a guy! So Justin Herbert is back, which is good.
That's really good news. I really like that guy. I do.
All right, so now we're going to do NFL picks.
Like, tell me you don't want him on your team. I mean, what if he was your quarterback? I would love that.
I love Justin Herbert on the Giants.
I could see that happening down the road. I've been telling, you know, my girlfriend's a Chargers fan. I've been telling her the whole time, we're taking your quarterback one day.
Hopefully the Chargers make a stupid decision in terms of that.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to share my screen. All right. I'm just going to unmark some of these picks that I had, though I'll keep in mind what I had. to mark them down. And we also did
Tony's
a pick
ready
segment.
for the picks.
What?
Tony's ready for the picks. Let's go.
Yeah. Tony also was I think he was part of the pick segment on Monday's Boys in the Big Apple, so that's also good. Jetsman's Mess, if you are still here, I did calculate your record from last week, and you did worse than me, pal. You were 4-12. So
Okay.
that's I mean, we're gonna keep standings all year, man. We're gonna keep
Wait, are we keeping standings on this podcast?
We could keep standings on this podcast.
Did we picked last week, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna calculate it once we are off.
Okay.
So I don't think that should be hard. I mean, I'm probably gonna have a similar record to what I picked on Boys in the Big Apple. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I'll give you the standings from Boys in the Big Apple. Jets mess. Donald's 10-6. Luca was 8-8. I was 5-11, and you were 4-12. Awful week.
That's not a good week.
No, terrible.
Absolutely. I'm thinking I might have had a good week here on this podcast because I know I picked the Giants to upset the Titans.
You picked the Giants to win. I think you picked the Commanders. So you probably had a couple of picks there. So obviously this game is in progress, so we're not going to pick it. Patriots Steelers, as we do this every week, basically state a reason as to why you think which team is going to win and your thoughts going into the game. Sox, I'll start with you. Pats Steelers.
Pats Steelers, and this is we're doing it classic, right? Steelers at home.
Steelers are at home.
Okay, Pats Steelers. You know what? I don't think Bill Belichick loses this game. I think the Steelers prove that their offense is going to struggle, and Bill knows how to dial up a hell of a defense. Patriots going to win a close game. I'd say they win by 10 points, probably 24-14.
Wow. So I have a totally different dialogue. Now, it is funny because the Pats are favored 2 points when it comes to the spread. I'm going to pick the Steelers here, and I'm going to mark it down, obviously. Let's see. Watt is out. Pats win. I still don't believe that the Pats are going to win. I mean, Joe Judge and Matt Patricia are the offensive coordinators for the Patriots. And listen, the defense did well last week. 4 times they picked off Joe Burrow. I think he fumbled once. That offense isn't good for the Steelers, but hey, listen, it's at least manufacturable where, your defense can make plays and pick off Mac Jones a couple of times. I mean, he was terrorized last week by the Miami defense. But next game, Indianapolis Colts versus the Jacksonville Jaguars, interdivision rivalry. Currently, the Indianapolis Colts are favored by 3.5, but at the same time, I can't remember the last time the Colts actually won in Jacksonville. Sox.
And that's a very interesting point. And it's cool that you remember that because it's like an actual curse that Colts fans have down in Jacksonville. And you know what? I can see it continuing. I think it's going to be a good game. Obviously, a division game. But I could see Trevor Lawrence, making some plays maybe, and maybe, that thing continues, whatever is going on down there. I'm going to call the Jaguars win.
All right. Just give me 1 second. So I'm gonna actually agree with you. I'm gonna take the Jacksonville Jaguars here. I think that curse is still gonna happen. So Tony says the Colts will win. Ryan is gonna own it. 1 second, because I'm just responding to something. All right.
Yeah, Matt Ryan will have a big game, I think.
What?
I think Matt Ryan has a good game. I think Trevor Lawrence has a surprise game too.
Okay. Next game, it is Jets at Browns. Jets were not good in week 1. The Browns won in week 1. The Browns currently are 6.5-point favorites.
Browns win. Easy.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Browns. I mean, the Jets' run defense was good last week. But I just don't think they'll manufacture the offense. And their offensive line is going to struggle heavily against Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney. Their free agent left guard gave up 8 pressures last week. Not a good start for the Jets' offensive line. And considering what the coach said this week, which I'm going to pull up the meme right here. It's funny. And also this.
Yeah, I saw that. That one is hilarious.
And then this one.
Yeah.
So a lot of funny stuff. I think I have one more to showcase. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Okay, I do not. Chubb runs for 150. Okay. Okay. I'm going to take the Browns here. I'm going to take the Browns. Now, the next one is Miami. Both teams are 1-0. Miami and Baltimore. Baltimore, I want to say, is the favorite coming into this game by 3.5. So, your thoughts?
I picked Miami last week, and I'm riding with them again on the road. Go Fins.
I'm going to take the Ravens. I think they're going to be hot a little bit. Now, there is a lot of pressure that comes from that Miami defense, but I'm going to take the Ravens here. And I'm kind of the underdog in this situation because Tony has the Miami Dolphins winning. So with that being said, Houston in Denver. Houston is currently the underdog by about 10 points. 10-point underdogs against Russell Wilson. Thoughts, Sox?
Honestly, I'm going to take Russell Wilson and the Broncos, but I don't think they're going to cover. If it's 10 or 10.5, I think it might be closer than that. They struggled
it's
against.
going to be closer than that. And I'm going to take Houston upset.
Yeah, they struggled a little bit in Seattle, so I agree.
Tony's gonna be happy, and I'm picking Houston.
I'm taking Denver to win, though, just so we're clear.
Yep, we're on the record with that one, and I'll definitely calculate, obviously, last week's record, present it. Tennessee and Buffalo. Tennessee coming off a loss to the New York Giants, and Buffalo coming off of a basically blowout victory against the one and only Los Angeles Rams. Buffalo is a 10-point favorite.
I like Buffalo at home to win a good game. I don't think they're going to cover it once again. I think they're going to figure out. I think Derrick Henry has a little bit of a better day if they give him the ball. It was surprising to see how much they didn't use him in that Giants game, which we'll take that, But I think Buffalo wins. They don't cover.
Okay. 1 second. Tony says Buffalo, but a closer game, though. I'm going to take Buffalo. I don't think it's going to be a close game. It's going to be a blowout, my opinion. Arizona in Las Vegas. Thoughts?
That's going to be tough because Cardinals are trying to bounce back after running into a buzzsaw week 1 against Kansas City. I think Kyler will get it together a little bit. We'll see how Devontae Adams and Derek Carr do. It's going to be tough for that Cardinals defense. I think it's going to be a shootout probably. I'll take a Cardinals winning on a game-winning field goal.
Okay. So right now, as far as that game goes, the Las Vegas Raiders are favored by 5.5. I'm going to take the Raiders. Tony's going to take the Raiders too. He says Carr wins on the last drive. So I'll mark that down. Once again, Sox is saying that Arizona will win. This game, Bengals, Cowboys.
I really think Dallas stinks, and I think they're overrated as they are every year. And I think Burrow's going to bounce back. I don't think you're going to see that kind of performance again from him this year. He just had a rough start, Super Bowl hangover. You can call it whatever it is. Bengals win, probably 1 or 2 scores.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Bengals too. I mean, Jamar Chase destroyed Trayvon Diggs in college. No Dak Prescott. Bad offensive line. Smells like a Bengals victory. Next game, interdivision game. It is the Bucks at the one and only New Orleans Saints. Sox, your thoughts on this game?
Tom didn't show us much. I think that was on purpose from the Buccaneers play calling. They didn't show much in that week 1 win. But I think Tom wins this one on the road. It's going to be a really good game. New Orleans is going to be bouncing like crazy, so watch out for the noise. But Tampa Bay wins a close one.
Yeah, so Tampa Bay is actually favored 2.5. I'm taking the New Orleans Saints here. It's just weird because the Saints have never lost. Well, haven't lost in a while to the Bucks in the regular season at home. I think it's going to play a big part. They lost to Trevor Siemian, it was last year. And not much from Brady. A lot of the running game last week, which is a little unorthodox for the Buccaneers, but I'm going to go ahead and take the New Orleans Saints, just like Tony. Right. So,
You know what I'm
in
going to
our
say.
game, the one and only New York Giants against the Carolina Panthers. Giants are 2-point favorites against Baker Mayfield. Sox, Arizona.
And you know what? I told you last week. I'll tell you again. I picked the Giants every single game, no matter what the matchup is, just to put it into the universe. That's how much I wanted it to happen. So Giants win. Hopefully, 27-24, 27-20. We go 2-0. Cowboys go 0-2. Couldn't be happier.
Right. So it's going to be a clean sweep on this one. The New York Giants. I have them. They allowed, meaning the Panthers, they allowed over 200 rushing yards on the ground last week. Nick Chubb had a great day on the ground. Saquon Barkley may not have as good of a day because they may try to focus all that on stopping the run, but hopefully some of the targets are healthy for Daniel Jones this week. A little bit of a bounce back after that interception.
Watch out for Saquon to have a big game out of the backfield.
Yes,
I mean,
they can't stop the run.
catching passes.
Yes. And I expect pressure on Baker Mayfield. I'm taking my New York Giants. Next game is Washington at the Lions. Lions are a 1-point favorite. That's very slim. Sox.
I think it's the first time in, 34 weeks or something like that the Detroit Lions are favored in a game. Do you know what the stat was?
I'm going to look it up. Detroit
but anyways,
Lions
I'm going to take the Lions to win. I know I rode with them last week. They had that really close game against Philadelphia, and it could have gone either way. But I'm going to ride with the Lions again against another NFC East opponent.
24 straight games.
24, that's what it was.
I'm going to take Washington. I think Carson Wentz, he has a good day. That defense isn't necessarily good on the back end. Trying to stick it out with some young guys. I don't think Carson Wentz has a perfect day, but he has a good enough day to where Washington takes home another victory, and they start their season 2-0. As I mentioned, Detroit is a 1-point favorite. Tony says Washington and Wentz has another 300-yard day. The next game is the Falcons at the Rams, and the Rams are big-time favorites in this one. They are 10-point favorites. Sox, your thoughts?
Rams win and they cover.
It's possible. I'm going to take the Rams too. I think they have a bounce-back week against one of the worst teams in the NFL. So the next game is, let's see what the next game is. Seahawks at 49ers. 49ers lost an upset to the Chicago Bears, and the Seahawks won an upset to the Denver Broncos. Right now, the current favorite is San Francisco at 8.5. So Geno Smith once again is the underdog. Sox, your thoughts?
I think it's hard to judge San Francisco or Chicago after that rainy-ass game. But, it's tough because San Francisco's quarterback situation, Trey Lance, he had some good throws. He had some bad throws in that rainy game. But Seattle played well, man. Geno started, 13-13 or 14-14. I think he continues to play well, and they go in there and beat San Francisco.
I disagree with you. I'm going to take San Francisco. I'm going to take the favorite ones. I think this is a get-right game. I think the Seahawks are going to be a little in over their heads in this game. Trey Lance has a bounce back. It's possible they lose, though, because Trey Lance, listen, I'm not going to judge anybody by what they do off the camera and off the field, but he's been hanging out he's been doing a lot of partying, and they lost last week. So I'm going to still take the 49ers to win. Chicago in Green Bay. I believe Green Bay are favorites, but that comes with the territory because Green Bay is a 10-point favorite. Thoughts?
So Green Bay's gonna win, obviously, because Aaron Rodgers, if you remember, told all of Chicago last year that I own you, and he scored that touchdown, one of the best clips of the season. So that continues. I don't think they cover. It's gonna be a good game.
Yeah, I'm going to take Aaron Rodgers too. It seems like every time they go, I don't remember the last time they won a road game against the Packers. It's going to be an interesting one. But the final one, Vikings at the Eagles. Eagles are 2-point favorites. Both teams are coming off of victories. Wow. So Tony is taking the Seahawks just like you. He's also taking the Chicago Bears. So that's a little bit of an underdog pick right there. But Vikings, Eagles, your thoughts?
Unfortunately, I think the Eagles are going to win a close game here, and I'm thinking the home field is going to help them out a lot. Is that Monday Night Football?
That is Monday Night Football. Yes, it is a doubleheader.
And primetime Kirk, everybody knows. So we'll see how it goes. I think the Eagles win a close one.
Yeah. So with that being said, I'm actually going to take the Eagles as well. Not necessarily focusing too much on primetime Kirk. I mean, then again, the Vikings really don't have a good history in Philadelphia. Philadelphia rebounds just a little bit. Their defense gave up 35 points last week to the Lions. I'm going to go ahead and take the Eagles this week. So, except for the Cowboys, once again, the NFC East is winning games.
You got a lot of home teams winning this week.
Yeah, I'm very biased towards that. I must say, I'm very biased.
I like home
that.
field a lot.
Yeah. But with that being said, Sox, any final thoughts?
No, man. I freaking love when football season's here, man. I'm glad we're doing this, and hopefully we can continue on through baseball. And doing these picks is going to be a blast. Red Sox, obviously, that sweep was tough. We saw some ups and downs. I like Brian Bale with his 5 innings pitch. That was solid, man. But that Yankees lineup is tough. Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Judge having a great year. His home run race is unbelievable, man. It's really incredible to watch and painful, especially when he's playing us. And but yeah, we're gonna be back. Hopefully the Giants win this week. I'm all in on Sunday with New York Football Giants, and we'll see how it goes. And make sure you hit up Big Beat Reactions as well. We're almost to 800 subs, so that's going to be a blast. And Sox Arizona and Big Blue in the Bronx, as always. Thank you guys for being here. Go ahead, Alex.
Real quickly, y'all better get this man to y'all better get this man to 800. Listen, we're over here at well, I mean it's a mixture, but we're almost at 700. Okay.
Yes.
So let's get that up, right?
The race to
your channel is almost at 800 to a certain extent. That's Sox Arizona. Go subscribe to him. And then, once again, I'm going to put it in chat right now. Big Beat Reactions. Go subscribe there. Music Reactions.
Appreciate that.
Now, I'm gonna do this on air because I can. And Jeffrey says hopefully the Bears win on Sunday night. So I guess he's rooting for those Bears. I have a suggestion. And I'm not going to reveal my thoughts on this song at all. But I have a suggestion for Big Reactions.
Yes, let me get my list. Give me one.
Herbert, 3 touchdowns, 330 yards, passing, lost by 3. Yeah. Well, the Chiefs win. Yep.
I will say, and I have to stick by tradition, I'm going to put it on the list where it belongs in order, and I will get to it. Trust me.
Hey, listen, there's no rush at all, but I'm going to be waiting for this one. And I'm not going to reveal any what was that song? God damn it. Oh my God. Shouts to Potato tuning in from the Czech Republic. He's probably up early for work. What's going on, man? One of the first real supporters of the channel, I must say.
I remember Potato being around for a long time.
Yeah. I just subbed to Sox' other channel. That's great, man. What was this song?
Come on, you just had it.
I literally did. I'm gonna look it up in my history. That's how bad it is.
How do you consume your music for the most part?
What do you mean? Like what do I listen to it on?
Yeah, like Spotify, Apple Music, CDs, cassettes, vinyl.
Mostly YouTube. I'm gonna be fair.
Okay.
I do have albums and all that stuff, but let's see. Let's look it up. See if I got the. Okay. Now I'm gonna ask you one question before, and if you don't know, I'm not gonna give you any hints. Do you know the band I Prevail?
Nope.
Okay, good. Here's the suggested song.
I have heard of them, but I have not heard any. I don't
Music.
know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're fresh mind.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear the reaction.
All right.
I Prevail is the band. The song is Body Bag.
That's gonna be a fun one, man.
All I'm gonna say is I can't wait for the reaction. So you got to tell me like the night before it comes out. Listen, I did this reaction. You
Okay.
cannot tell me how it goes. I have to watch the video.
Okay, I will. I promise you. And I give a shout out to everybody. And just so you guys know, watching, I give a shout out to everybody that requests any song. You put it on the list, you'll get a shout out. We'll do your song eventually. So I'm excited for that one. And I'll let you know.
How many songs you got before mine? In the general estimate.
I mean, you want me to be honest with you? Because I got
ahead.
about 10 pages of songs.
Really?
Yeah. Then it's all of my reactions are all based off requests from my badass subscribers, and it's like awesome. So, but we're gonna crank them out. I'll get to them quick.
Get this fucking man monetized, everybody.
Yeah, I know. We'll get there quick.
So, go subscribe to his channel. Big Beat Reactions. Alex, do you like Bruce Springsteen music? Just asking. Like maybe one or two songs. Not the biggest fan of him in terms of his music. Born in the USA is one that comes to mind.
You can't play more than one song in a row. That's the thing.
Yes. What, in terms of Springsteen or?
Yeah, with Springsteen, like one song and I'm good with him.
Yeah. He does good reactions. Yeah, listen, Sox Arizona
Tony.
right here.
Appreciate that.
Reactions, all that good stuff. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get out of here. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. In terms of updates on the channel content, I will be to put it lightly, I'll have the preview for the Panthers game. That's going to be out on Saturday at 12:30, like it usually is. Sunday, no content. Tomorrow's Friday. I don't have any content coming out tomorrow, at least to my knowledge, unless some shit happens. Actually, what the hell am I talking about? Friday, tomorrow, be here. Yankees Brewers live stream. That's going to be on this channel. So tune in, do all the good stuff. Make sure you like both channels, by the way. We do this on both channels at the same time, simultaneously. Go subscribe to Sox and do all the good stuff over there. Same here. But tomorrow, I'm going to refresh the order now. Yankees Brewers live stream is around 8:10. Me and Luca, I'm trying to get him to be down here with me because I don't want to be in two different rooms on two different fucking wavelengths where he's ahead of me, I'm ahead of him, all that shit. So we'll be in the same room, two different cameras, all that stuff with Donald Stewart. So we're going to be calling the game. That's going to be tomorrow. Big Blue in the Bronx podcast, the preview for the Panthers game. That's going to be on Saturday. Nothing on Sunday. Boys in the Big Apple returns on Monday. On Tuesday is the Big Blue in the Bronx podcast, recapping whatever the Panthers game brings us. And then Wednesday is Twin Bill. on NYY News TV. The Jets are the Jets. Yes, Jeff, the Jets are the Jets. I like this sad Jet fan reaction to the loss. Listen, also as well, I know I'm doing a lot of self-promo on here. Go and watch Luca's rant.
Yes.
On, you know what? Why not? We're gonna play it on here. Okay. We got some minutes to spare. Listen, as I said, though, I do want you guys to go over, if you haven't already, go over and like the video. Go over and like the video because it's very important.
Liking the video is going to push it out.
Yep. Go over and like the video. It's got over like 70 views right now, but we want to push that to 100. Okay. It's Luca reacting to the Jets loss. I mean, how better can you get in terms of that content? But I'm going to show it on here, basically to close out the show, if anything. So, yeah, that's pretty much that. Just going to wait for this video to process. Once again, go ahead and like. Luca needs a hug. He needs a lot more than that after consuming content and just garbage football team watch. So, Once again, and it's not just a rant, but there's some funny clips involved as well. So this video is about 3 minutes. Then we're going to play the outro at the end. But peace out, guys. See you later. Stay cool. Good night. And enjoy the rant.
I mean, I just think it was a really bad week. Again, this is a really good Ravens team. It's just, I really think they should experiment with other quarterbacks outside of Flacco until Wilson gets back. I would experiment with White. I would experiment with Streveler if that's the case, if that's the direction you want to go. But you got to figure something out because when Wilson comes back, you do not want to have a winless record. You don't.
Brian, the first part of that, you sounded like a Jets beat reporter with the built-in excuses. That the Ravens are a good team, that, this.
They're not a good team?
No, I'm not saying they're not, bro. But hold on a second. I get in my point here. The Ravens are a good team. The Ravens are a good team. I can acknowledge that. But with the step in the rebuild we have, with the talent we have, we're in year whatever of this rebuild. We're supposed to show results. You got to start playing competitive against these teams. Whether it's the Ravens, the Bengals, the Steelers, whatever good team is out there. I don't want to sit here and watch my team get blown out 24-3 in the fourth quarter and have to leave. I'm done with that shit. I've been a Jet fan since 2009, and I've watched trash-ass football for about 10 years plus. I'm sick and tired of it. Listen, there are the new fans that say, oh, it's week one, this. I've watched the same goddamn movie for the past 10 years. I've watched the same movie. I'm sick and tired of losing. I'm sick and tired of incompetent coaching. I'm sick and tired of built-in excuses and justifying losing. I'm sick and tired of my coach making excuses.
About the Jets.
I'm not ranting at Brian. I'm sick and tired of ownership. I am sick and tired of missing out on draft picks. I'm done. I'm sick and tired of these stupid cliches. All gas, no break. 60%. Instant coffee age. I'm done with the excuses, man. I'm not yelling at you, Brian. Please don't think I am. But then you got Jet fans out here fucking laughing at what Sal's saying. Rob, were you there did you live for the Joe Judge experience?
Of course I did. I suffered.
And do you remember in week 17 when he's explicitly called out Pat Shurmur and the pass regime to save his own ass? That's what Robert Saleh did this week. If you did not hear his TMKS bullshit. He said this team was an expansion team before Joe Douglas came here to save his own ass. And you know what's funny about the expansion team? They won 7 fucking games. How many has Robert Saleh won? Not 7, not 10. No winning record. He's 3-17 as head coach of this goddamn football team. 3-17 right now. 3-17. And then he has the balls to say that. Adam Gase won 7 games with that team. I fucking hate the guy. But you have to – I don't want to give credit, but he's won more games – exactly. He's won more games than Robert Saleh as a Jets coach, whether somebody likes to admit it or not.
All right, so I do have some post-video news. This was from Monday, by the way. I also want to include this clip, which is very similar to that one. It's actually from last year.
I blame everybody across the board for this loss. The players, the coaching staff, and the general manager. Everybody deserves blame. And then I got to hear Robert Saleh say after this game, well, they played their tails off.
So I will explain something. Maybe MH and some of the earlier supporters are still here. Let me see something. Okay. For shouts to Jacob, by the way, what's going on, man? So I'm gonna now. This doesn't necessarily impact the channel 100%, but I hope it does for the future because I was just talking about Sean, right? He is going to be back in New York 100% in 3 weeks. So what some people know now. I'm gonna explain a little bit more of the detail to Sox off air, but basically, I'm going to describe it as this because I don't know if MH and Potato and Evan Spitzberg are still here. We used to when I started this channel, Sean, Luca, those were the 2 guys that would help me in terms of live streaming. I mean, we did the Yankees Nationals game, the COVID opener, and then we did the Giants Steelers game because he's a Steelers fan and all that stuff.
That was a tough loss.
Yeah. And then we started the Boys in the Big Apple podcast, the 3 of us. in February, March-ish of 2021. That's when Cop Pizzle came on and the Entertainer came on. So a lot of good stuff there. Then we started that podcast. Obviously, y'all know it's still running right now. And up for a little bit in February of 2022, so a couple of months ago, he had some personal stuff going on in his life where he wasn't necessarily sure with the work schedule. And there's a lot of things going on there. We actually had to move out, and there was a more complex situation that added to it. So he actually took a break from the podcast, and we struggled to get a co-host. Donald was on twice as a guest before we basically put him and said, "Hey, listen, we're going to need somebody who does, is basically going to be a co-host." So Donald's been a great addition, but it's going to be great to have, potentially Sean coming back on and adding the comedy and the humor and that stuff. So he literally just texted me. He's super excited about coming back to New York, and hopefully once again in a few weeks after that, hopefully if he's not working on Mondays and stuff like that, he can jump on the podcast and we can do a lot of stuff. We can do a little bit more live streams and all that. But anyway, I just wanted to put it out there. Hopefully my I have loyal supporters, but the guys who remember Sean, they see this. And, hopefully they're at least happy in terms of that. But with that being said, guys, and the honest truth, we're going to get out of here. Peace out, guys. See you later. Stay cool. Sub to both channels. Do everything. Peace.